Hey guys, so I have not filmed a video in like 6 months. You guys all know that if you are subscribed to my channel, which there's so many new subscribers on my channel since the last time that I filmed a video, and I want to say hello. If you don't know already, my name is Jade and I'm super happy to have you a part of my little YouTube community. It's super exciting. I have been gone for about 6 months. Nothing crazy has been going on. I just was really busy. I moved into a new apartment. I had been working a lot and then COVID hit and it was just kind of a whole crazy time period, so I wasn't really filming any videos. But I feel like I'm ready to come back now. I feel situated, I feel prepped, I feel ready to like get back into filming videos again. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of you guys messaging me some amazing ideas, which brings me into what this video is. So during my time away from YouTube, I got a lot of comments and messages about my Kicked Out at 17 video, which if you haven't seen it, I'll link it in the info card above and I'll have it in the description. It's also on my channel just as a regular video if you want to check it out. From a lot of people, I get a lot of emails and comments about your guys' personal experiences, which I really do want to go ahead and say thank you for your vulnerability in sharing your stories with me and reaching out. I try my hardest to respond to everybody, and also just the comments on that video from other people sharing their experiences have been so incredibly supportive and amazing, and I'm really proud of everybody who's a part of this community and how they help one another and protect each other, and they just support one another, and it's just amazing, and I just can't thank you guys enough for that. I wanted to kind of do a bit of an update on that situation for those of you who are curious. I don't have any specific questions. I might do a Q&A on it. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments. You can follow me on my Instagram as well. That's probably where I'm going to end up doing a Q&A if I end up getting around to doing that. But I kind of just wanted to do an update about the situation as a whole. I guess I'll just get straight into it and just tell you that I still have no contact at all with my mom or my stepdad or my younger brother. And it's been about 4 years now. Still have no contact. My dad, my biological dad, has no contact either. My brother, by the way, is my dad's biological son as well. We have the same parents, and he also has no contact. I feel like since then, I've healed so much from a lot of the emotional trauma that I went through. It's taken me a while to get over the angry phase and getting over the phase of wondering why it happened to me, and I also had a phase where I also felt like I deserved it, and I did not like being called a victim. I still don't like being called a victim. I use the term survivor. I've been through a lot of abusive situations and I feel like I've survived a lot of them. And I went through a phase of wanting forgiveness from her. Not forgiveness from her, but I wanted to hear her apologize to me. And I'm kind of over all of that. And so at the current moment, I am honestly just living my life. I'm learning a lot about emotional trauma, intergenerational trauma, anxiety and disorders, how things from your past, even things from your grandparents' past can affect you now. Like, I'm learning a lot about the psychology behind it, but also about healing myself and my family, because my whole family is affected by it. I'm in the interesting stage of things where I just find it really interesting to learn about it, and I find it really unique that that can happen to people's brains, and that can happen in relationships and connections to people, that they treat one another that way. I kind of wanted to share with you a little bit, I guess, about some more in-depth details regarding that time and how I got away. I can't remember if I talked about this in depth in the video. I haven't watched it since then just because it's a bit hard for me to watch. So I'm just gonna kind of share the important parts, in my opinion, about that time and what I did and what happened. So I obviously got kicked out. I moved out in one evening to my best friend's house, and I grew up with my best friend. Her parents were like my second family, so they welcomed me right away. They knew me already, and I also went to the same high school as my best friend, so it was nice to be able to have someone to go to school with in the morning who would like motivate me, because I did not care about anything at the time. And I actually only had 2 classes, which was math and chemistry, that I was struggling with because I'm really bad at math, and Chemistry 30 and math 30 are really, like, math in general is just hard for me, but chemistry 30 has a lot of math in it, so I was struggling because I wasn't going to class and I wasn't studying. My grades were not the best. Wasn't really going to class. I had a lot of absences, but I became an independent student because I told my teachers and my counselor what had happened. So I became an independent student, so I was in charge of my own education. Everything was under my name if I didn't want to go to school that day. They knew what I was going through, but there was nothing they could really do about it. Like, I could not mentally go to school. So I was in charge of getting myself to school every day. I was in charge of paying for my school fees because my mom did not pay for my final year. She never really paid for anything on time my entire schooling existence, but that's a whole other, like, tangent about like just the annoying stuff she used to do to me. Yeah, I moved in with her and I was not charged any rent or anything. I just had to pay for my own food and my bus pass. I actually had to get financial funding. So I was working part-time at a pizza place on the weekends and then sometimes after school. And it wasn't enough to pay for everything. For the first little while, I was relying on my savings account. And then when that went down, I got told from my counselor about this funding program that happens in my city for people who are going through my situation. So basically you get a certain amount of money each month to help you out with your stuff that you have to pay for. And it's not just a simple, you know, put an application in and then you get accepted or denied. You have to go through a panel of people. You have to re-explain your situation. You have to write down every single thing that you need money for every month. And so I got approved after a long process of going through people and getting reviewed. And I got approved and I got like a certain amount of money every month up until I graduated. So you get it up until the day you graduate. And if you graduate with a certain grade, you get like a bonus amount, which I got. So that really helped me out. I also did afterwards end up moving in with my grandma where I lived all the way up until January of like this year. So I lived with her because I emotionally, not only did I just go through my whole family situation, I also was in a very toxic, abusive relationship with my ex. I was having a hard time work-wise. I was trying to figure out university stuff. So I moved in with my grandma to kind of have some financial stability. So she was paying for my groceries and I didn't have to pay rent. I did pitch in for some things when I could. I was mainly trying to get back on my feet, get university stuff done because I did go to university for a year to do entrepreneurship and stuff, but then I ended up not wanting to continue it because I didn't like the classes. And then obviously I started working full-time jobs and then paying for my own stuff, and then now I moved out and all that kind of stuff. In terms of like what the hardest part of everything, of course financially it was really scary. I don't want to rely on my family so much. I just grew up not relying on people because I couldn't, but you know, they were very, 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 very helpful and supportive in helping me to get through all of that. So that's kind of what I did. And now I have a car that all on my own that I pay for myself. It's under my name. I have really good credit that I worked my butt off to do. And I was able to start doing a savings account now that I work at a really pretty good full-time job. So I've been able to work really hard to get financially stable. Even though I did have a place to stay for free, I had no money. Like, I had to rebuild everything from scratch. I had to work really hard, retail jobs, food jobs all the time in order to get what I have and to achieve the things that I've done. And I know a lot of people comment and they go, you know, I don't have close family, I don't have close friends to go to and stuff like that, which my heart goes out to you guys because I know that that's a big part of why I'm like, I got better and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that that has to be the only solution. I do believe like you can get through anything, you can become independent, you just have to work your ass off, unfortunately. That's just how it is. When these cards get dealt to you, it's rough. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of my like update, I guess, on that. Obviously I'm in a new relationship that we've been together for almost 2 years now. We have an apartment together, we live together. I have a full-time job where I'm in a leadership position. I've been feeling so much better mental health wise. And that's the thing, that is like the hardest part, is the mental health stuff, because when you are so badly emotionally abused, your brain is so brainwashed and you kind of create two personalities. You create a personality to deal with that kind of stuff, and you have your real personality that you usually have to like suppress to make these people happy. And it's hard to be able to bring out that person and not the other person. It's hard to not be yourself. I always try to like reach out to you guys and tell you that it's the mental health that is so important. We live in an amazing time of the world where financial help is available in a lot of different ways. Social help is available in a lot of different ways. And I know that it's scary, and I know that it's hard, and I know it's frustrating, and you're angry, but there are reasons behind it. I know 1000% I was meant to go through what I went through to be able to be this person that I am, and how independent I am, and how happy I am now. And it made my personality, my real personality, come out threefold. You know, it just takes a lot of time, but it's also very freeing. You get to do what you want to do. If you have a goal in your head, or a job, or a place you want to live, or something like that, you have the freedom to do so. You don't have these people hunched over you anymore. I also want to go ahead and say that my situation is very rare, and not rare, but it's a very uniquely absurd situation. It's hard for people to understand what I went through unless you've gone through it. And it's rare for my type of miscommunication and like no connection at all to happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It is a common thing, but I feel like it's rarely talked about. That's what I'm trying to get to. So it's hard to discuss it with people, and I know a lot of you guys feel that way. You have a hard time getting over it or talking to people because it's not something you learn about in school. It's not something that's talked about. It's not something that occurs and you talk about it on the bus ride to school, or you text your friends about it, because it's something that just doesn't get discussed, because we're brought up to believe that family situations are to remain at home and whatever. Unfortunately, these things do happen within families and within close-knit communities and all that kind of stuff. And the biggest thing is I really want to, because I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a doctor, I'm none of that. Can't really tell you guys what to do medically or what to do scientifically or anything. I really just want to inspire you guys to lead independent lives and to make really awesome, healthy, abundant, lavish, amazing situations for yourselves and goals that you want to accomplish. And I want you guys to go in the directions that your heart wants you to go to. That's where I feel like I want to help people, because I was at a place in my life where I didn't think I was going to live. I had suicidal tendencies. I was like, how the hell am I supposed to do anything in my life where I don't have my main family that I was with my entire life? And I lost the love of my mother, and I lost the connection to my brother, and like I don't have a home, and I'm like, my cat got taken away, like my personal items were thrown away, like a lot of that stuff. But you rebuild, and I can tell you guys completely and honestly that I'm like the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. And that is 100% possible for those of you who are going through this situation. So I hope that this answers some questions. I hope that this kind of gives you guys a bit of input into that time and where I'm at now. I do want to do specific related videos maybe for some of the topics. If you guys have any specific topics, leave them in the comments down below. Any questions, leave down below. Follow my Instagram. I am most active on there, and I love to connect with you guys. But that's it for now. I wish you guys the best, and I hope you guys are having a great morning, afternoon, or evening. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.